So anyway.
Welcome to what?
Welcome to what? intro ndio inakuwa ngumu kwa zote kwa hizi vitu. Lakini anyway, welcome to our first podcast. The podcast yetu ya kwanza.
Kama English ama watu
sisi zote tu sisi
kwani tunaview basi Kenya market pekee kwanza.
Tunaenda naturally kwanza, alafu sasa kutoka hapo tutajua.
Okay, sawa.
Na plus ni watu wetu tu tunaongelesha. Hii si ni akina. Ni watu tu kaa sisi tutasikiza.
Okay, sawa.
Anyway, this is our first podcast about Formula 1. I am Wesley.
I'm Mark.
Yeah, and we decided
info gurus.
No, intro inakuwa ngumu. Anyway, we decided to start this Formula 1 podcast. Yeah, to be honest, yeah, we have a lot of information about Formula 1 we'd like to put out there. Now, plus we are fans. Now, we want
to have honest reviews.
Yes. News, predictions, and basically interesting stuff in the world of Formula 1. Kwa hivyo,
focusing on driver profiles. What else can we add?
Driver profiles and history, yes.
History of the Formula 1, yeah.
Formula 1 races, Formula 1 drivers. Yeah, hiyo tu interesting information. I think nadhani kitu nakonga inafanyanga Formula 1 iko na the law that it has in history, the drama, na the fact that that is it for motorsport. You know, the space race for cars.
Through this podcast tunaona tunaweza induce more people into becoming Formula 1 fans man.
Yeah, by the way, Formula 1 sio wengi.
Okay, kuna statistics kana soma like people these days wanna learn nearly a lot from podcasts because podcast unajua ni very intuitive na watu wamefanya research on based on what wanaongelea.
Yeah.
So, it's a fun way na ni somehow quick na enjoyable, ni to talk through, ni interactive. So.
Yeah. Kwa hivyo ni hivyo. Ndio intro. Iko mbaya sana. For our first
in 2 minutes.
Yeah, 2 minutes. Sawa. 2 minutes in and we are still alive.
Kuna machine blow up.
Yeah.
Kila kitu iko intact.
Na ilikuwa first take. Hakuna ingine. Hii ndio the only one tumefanya. Kwa hivyo tuko na future. Acha tuseme tuko na future. Yeah, anyway, the first thing tulikuwa tunafanya ni some questions about the previous season. Mark, I have questions for you.
2021 season, ndio?
Yeah, 2021 season. Yeah. Hata wewe unajua kwa nazo zangu, si ndio?
Kadhaa.
Sawa, na mimi mimi naweza copy tu maswali zako. Last. How do you feel about how the season ended? The last race of the season, the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix.
As a Lewis fan, it's a moment sitaki kukumbuka man. Because enyewe bana. Unajua ndio ilienda.
Acha tuwape context. We had a bet na yeye. Mimi nilikuwa nataka Max ashinde. Vibaya sana. Ndio maana nimecheka. Lewis fans, I'm sorry. Lewis
kitu si tuna seek validation yeti. Ni Max fans mlibatika.
Hakuna kubatika. That was
Max deserved the win, but honestly that from what lap, from the 43rd lap it was evident that Lewis had the race. Max had given up already. Kulikuwa na interval nearly 3 to 5 seconds, I guess.
Ilikuwa 5 actually. Until safety car Latifi bana. But sio luck peke yake, sio luck.
Okay.
Kwani it was not lucky juu acha tuone factors. The last 2 laps that was real racing, si ndio? Nani alikuwa na Lewis had tires.
It was unfair to Lewis. So tusema ilikuwa somewhat unfair because imagine the FIA waki overturn a rule wao wamepronounce bana. Hiyo ni somehow, so everyone had accepted that the race ilikuwa inaisha the safety car.
the safety.
All the teams zilikuwa zinajua hivyo. And reason ya Lewis kukuama bila kwenda kwa the pits. Kukuama na the hard tires. Si ati okay. Strategy yao ilikuwa imework to that point, unaweza sema hivyo. FIA wakawa mess up vibaya. So that was okay. Wakisema ilikuwa an actual race the last 2 laps.
The last 2 laps were an actual.
Ilikuwa a race but unfair to Lewis.
Yeah, we cannot win. Na enyewe Red Bull fans cannot win. Your season you cannot win. Lakini it went Dutch anyway. So akona reigning world champion. Yeah. Any Max Verstappen ana run the number one car this season, which is the only person who can run the number 1 in their car is the previous winner of the last season. Yeah, an interesting bit of information up. Yeah. So another question. Which was the best race to you and why?
Oh, the best race
last season.
The final one evidently, but okay, kulikuwa na other better races I might say. Brazil.
Lewis fans. So yes, kweli Brazil was nice. So isipokuwa Lewis. Sema tu
just because of Lewis fan. Hiyo nilikuwa okay, as a Lewis fan unaweza validate him, but I try to think of another race ilikuwa a bit competitive because the reason kulikuwa na a lot of controversy na how the last race kuwa maybe the most watched race is kulikuwa na that competition. Walikuwa na tied points na walikuwa tied on points na a race on the final lap yani.
Si Brazil ilikuwa
evident ni Lewis anachukua from the start, yes, based on his performance. Hata Max had no chance in Brazil. Na hiyo hapo nasema it was the best race for me because hiyo ndio ilikuwa an actual show of how great Lewis is actually as a driver and as a ham fan na validate na that one race.
Abu, tell us what Lewis did in Brazil.
From nikianzia from the Saturday quali. He finished kulikuwa na the quali na kulikuwa na the sprint
race alafu sasa the race.
Na from the quali alimaliza Lewis came back from P25 actually to
technically P25
to win the race bana. Na ni shida ama nini ilianzia from the quali?
Ni qualifying. Actually alipata the fastest time. Ilikuwa pole. He got pole. Alipata pole alafu kutoka hapo nile hapa.
In quali alipata he got a penalty for having a new engine on track. Since walikuwa wanajaribu ku catch up on Max.
Red Bull yani.
Red Bull. So he had to take up a new engine which costed him 5 positions on track for the quali. And
akaanza sprint race akiwa P5. P5. Alafu bado sprint race alimaliza P1.
Sprint race ni Bottas alishinda.
Okay, Alafu nini ili happen? Kwa hivyo hizo ni 5 places. Hizo 20 kuna ulisema kwa hivyo lakini alianzia in the back during the race.
Kulinotisika kitu na the journalists huko. Kulikuwa na an infringement kwa rear wing yake which was taken as illegal by the FIA. Which costed him actually to be disqualified to the last position on track. Disqualified ama ni
ukiwa disqualified kwa sprint race sasa sinamaanisha
you'll start at the back of the grid. So that costed him na kanzia the race actually as the last guy on track. And he actually had nearly 3 to 4 overtakes. I believe 4 overtakes before the first corner,
before Thairu.
Goodness on another level of Lewis. That's Lewis. That's why Brazil they considers one of the best races. All the other overtakes I believe were quite easy until akapatana na Max who was leading the race. The first 2 times hakuwa successful trying to overtake Max. He was
that times
the second time, that times the charm. that times the charm actually. I remember Max alimpush off
twice.
Acid, okay, najua the second time. The second time ndo alimpush off completely off the track akaingia into the grass, I believe.
Na akaonyesha black and white flag. Black and white flag Max. Alionyesha the warning flag.
It was just a warning. I believe alikuwa nafaa kuwa penalized honestly.
Hapana, haiwezi.
Alikuwa nafaa, okay, lakini ingekuwa kitu subtle kama maybe a 2 second penalty.
2 seconds. No,
okay, for such an issue, yani pushing someone off track wasn't fine any other way. A time fine or the best ama the fairest fine in accordance to such an issue, yani. So okay, finally aliweza kupitwa, but Max ndo aliovertakiwa na Lewis.
Lakini hata hakukuwa na difference. Wale walimaliza 20 seconds above the rest. Hata angepatiwa 10 seconds.
Kitu nafaa kujua na ku-accept. Kwa hii era tuko, Max na Lewis wako on a different level of their own, but all the superior beings to the rest of the grid, but
superior drivers.
Exactly.
Wawili hata vile watu wanasemanga ati magari zingekuwa the same, bado hao wawili wangekuwa on top of their game, on top of the grid, yani. Sawa.
Another race una consider kuwa
race mimi na consider
kuwa an amazing race in 21. Nasikuwa biased.
Hata nilikuwa niseme okay, in terms of Max ku come back. Nasema as in ku race vizuri ilikuwa French Grand Prix, and alifanya mistake turn 2 na bado akarecover, akapit twice, na both Mercedes cars repeat once.
Master of saves.
Alisave your gari. Na aliovertake Lewis na akachukua P1 ikiwa the second last lap
52 of the 52 lap race. That's the French Grand Prix.
Lakini the best race overall yenye naweza watch over and over ni Sochi. Ilikuwa Russian Grand Prix.
In the wet bana.
It had everything. Wet, dry race. Lando ilikuwa
P1.
Ilikuwa Max alianzia P7 ama P6. Kulikuwa Lando P1, alikuwa on pole. Carlos Sainz alikuwa P2. The race ilianza ikiwa dry, alafu kaanza kunyesha,
so strategies ilibidi zichange. Na hiyo ndio ilimess up Lando totally, since alikuwa anataka kubaki on track bado.
Aliulizwa what do you think Inters are the best options, akashoto akasema no. 2 laps later akaspin twice, akagift Hamilton the win. Na nani alishinda?
I believe you itaishi kumhaunt ever, honestly.
Ni kweli. Hata
ndio ilikuwa his first win bana. I believe hata alilia, if I'm not wrong.
Alilia, ni ukweli. Ni ukweli. Hata lakini anaitangwa aje huyu Will Buxton, Formula 1 journalist. Alikuwa anasema ati that's the difference between experience and talent. Ni ukweli, had the talent. Aliweka hiyo gari P1 na Lewis alikuwa P4 qualify. Lakini unaona Lewis alitrust Max Verstappen alianza P gani?
Hakuset time.
Alipata DNF kwa qualify. Kwa hivyo alianzia mwisho na alimaliza P2. Na alimaliza P2. Actually kitu limsaidia ni hiyo confusion. Alikuwa na make his way up the grid pole tu, lakini vile kuanza kunyesha alikuwa P11 I think. I'm not sure, P11.
Actually hiyo race nikiconsider nilikuwa almost sure Max
alifanya kitu.
Hata pata top 5 finish bana. But okay, man is a superior driver, so
So hiyo confusion plus Red Bull wanakuwa masters of strategy. Hiyo confusion ya kupit to sipit, Red Bull wa perfect. Walipit, I think hiyo ilikuwa lap 38 I think. Kulikuwa na a specific point, kulikuwa na specific lap. Drivers wenye wote walipit hiyo lap wali benefit greatly.
Hawakukopi strategy ya Yeah, the Mercedes team. Wao wakipit Lewis.
Walipit on different laps.
But who pitted first?
Ni acha nikumbuke. Siwezi kumbuka juu hapo close, hapo anywhere close. I can't remember who pitted first. Lakini it helped. Ilisaidia nani ku jump up the grid. Ilisaidia Max, ikasaidia Gasly, na pia kuna drivers wa Alfa Romeo, kuna mmoja wali benefit sana.
Giovinazzi.
Ni Giovinazzi li benefit. Ingekuwa Kimi ingekuwa nakumbuka for sure. Kwa hivyo alimaliza P6 Lando. Alimaliza P6 na alikuwa on pole, actually alilead. Na plus alifight hadi kwa post race interviews. Lewis alikuwa anasema vile Lando is a good driver. Alidefend a lot. Hadi turn 2 alipitwa na Carlos Sainz Ferrari, lakini alitake back your position hiyo lap.
From that bado tuna consider yenyewe McLaren did a good work for the 2021 season.
Yeah, they did.
Kuna other issues kuna other events to highlight on where McLaren really put in the work. Like where ilikuwa Austria, Monza. They only P2 actually this season. P1, P2 for a team.
Imagine, which is smart to believe. Kwanza Red Bull vile defense ya Perez. Niko surprised vile yako maliza P1, P2.
In which race, in which track?
In Mexico. Ilikuwa Verstappen, Hamilton, Perez. Wapi kwingine? Kulikuwa na place nyingine walimaliza in that order. Anyway, kwanza vile the previous season ulikuwa nazoea tu ni Lewis Bottas, sometimes Max, sometimes Vettel, lakini as it was refreshing. It was refreshing kuona a different team pia France pia ilikuwa Max, Hamilton, Perez. Anyway, next question kwa swali yako. Sasa tuna move in kwa this season yani.
Predictions
new drivers ni Guan Yu Zhou. Actually is the only new driver hata.
Ni ile kumekuwa na exit ya ni 2-3 people, ni kuna Giovinazzi, kuna
Kimi na Giovinazzi ndio wametoka. New people ni Guan Yu Zhou na Albon, lakini Albon unaweza sema nini? Albon si anarudi.
Ile alikuwa alitoka in the 2020 season. 2021 akakuwa na break, akaenda into
other racing. Alikuwa na racing.
It's a comeback. Hii ni comeback, si a new driver totally.
Transfers ni new drivers ni Guan Yu Zhou na Alex Albon. Albon anaenda Williams ku replace George Russell mwenye anaenda Mercedes. Alafu Bottas anatolewa Mercedes, anaenda Alfa Romeo anachuja Antonio Giovinazzi. Anachuja Kimi Räikkönen mwenye ana retire.
Si kumchuja ni
Kimi replace.
Kumreplace. Ni kuchomea Kimi picha, na ni legend bana.
I apologize. Bottas anatoka Mercedes anakuja Alfa Romeo kwa
ni demotion to you ama new challenge.
New challenge. Enyewe acha nielezea watu, mtu ni die hard Bottas fan. Ati new challenge from Mercedes.
Unajua the man has tried the 4 seasons amekuwa hapo. Na expectations on him zilikuwa so high. Nile he was being compared, na comparison zake za stats.
Bottas rant imeanza.
Zilikuwa in comparison to the ultimate GOAT bana, Hamilton himself. So ku keep up na such a guy, na ni nearly sitaki kusema ni impossible because Max ametokea na ameprove to be the challenge on Lewis. But kupata drive of such caliber ni sio rahisi kupata such a driver.
Yeah, Bottas was great. Plus yeye ndio akona most fastest lap kwa grid zote. As of now, yeye ndio akona the most fastest laps. Akonayo Azerbaijan, akonayo this new track Jeddah, akonayo Zandvoort.
Kitu watu wanasahau bado. Before tuanze kufikiria hata kuchuja Bottas. Bottas was P2 for nearly 2 or 3 seasons. Directly behind Lewis, hata ahead of Max. Unasema maybe nilikuwa ni venye Max had unfortunate events in those years as he rose up pole. But Bottas really was a real Mercedes driver, honestly,
and he did his job.
Yeah. Nile unakuwa compared to an unbeatable driver. That was the issue. In the motion I feel ilikuwa honestly unfair. But acha tutaona venye Alfa Romeo ita look up on him bana.
We'll see. Maybe you are right. Maybe itakuwa new challenge. And now that I think about it, I hope itakuwa new challenge. Wewe unaimagine hiyo comeback ya Bottas. Inaweza kuwa legendary.
I believe mtu anafaa kuprove his name ni Russell akiingia to the Mercedes seat bana.
Yeah, sio kuprove his name as in a lot to live up to. Jame perform akiwa Williams. Alikuwa
ameperform as you consider mkisema ana perform ukisema ana perform ina Williams yet points alikuwa alipata maybe last year zilikuwa hata I believe less than 10 ama ilikuwa ngapi
zilikuwa tu ile P2 yake
ile P2 ya Spa pekee
na P10 kama 2 na ni point moja ziko mingi. Lakini to be honest, ile time alikuwa na fight for points.
He didn't have a good car, but he's an amazing driver.
He's an amazing driver, yeah.
Okay, we'll have a lot to look up to in the 22 season.
Yeah, na unajua kuna time ilikuwa wapi? Kuna time alikuwa na fight for P8. Alafu guess who made him crash? Bottas himself.
Which track?
Sikumbuki ilikuwa track gani. But yeah, anyway, Bottas. I guess you can call that. Is that a form of karma? Maybe, probably. Maybe. Anyway, nilikuwa kwa transfers. Alfa Romeo ndio akona 2 new drivers. The new one, Guanyu and
from F2.
Yes, from F2. He's the first Chinese driver in Formula 1. Okay, a full-time Formula 1 driver. Kumekuwa na some Chinese drivers wamekuwa kitest for a while.
Yuki ni Japanese.
Yeah, Yuki is Japanese. Yuki anaenda season yake ya pili na Alpha Tauri. Let's see. New drivers. Albon, Williams wakiwa anapeariwa na nani? Williams.
Albon wako na Latifi.
Nicolas Latifi.
Latifi ni
Canadian. Latifi ni OG by now.
OG kweli hapa na okay, hiyo ni for later date but obviously mess up late mbaya sana so.
Hapana, aturudi hapo kwa Abu Dhabi. Aturudi hapo. Mzee he was trying. Alikuwa na fight for position. Alikuwa na fight for P9. Ilikuwa P9 he was fighting for Latifi. He was fighting for P9. Ile part ali crash. Yeah. Anyway, new drivers senior peke yake. Albon na Guanyu.
Yes, the drivers wamebaki to the previous year team.
Anyway, nilikuwa nimekuuliza nini. Sasa hii ni kitu ya next season sasa. What are 3 things you want to see this season?
3 things I want to see this season. Wow, I believe that more than 3, but actually nitaanza na gani?
Give me the 3 best one.
The 3 best. Okay, highlighting that the best since everything new and expectation to look up to must be good, honestly. The first one is Vettel being on the podium again. Okay.
I'm a race win.
Okay. Hiyo ni a tough call but acha tuseme hivyo basi. Kuwa na legend on the track bana, 4-time champion. Okay, kuna Lewis na kuna Alonso hao ni champions bado na Lewis is in a superior car so most likely atapata championship
probably.
So most probably actually tunaweza bet on the first 3 races atakuwa na podium ama win maybe. But Vettel having a win ama a podium, several podiums actually hiyo ni will be an amazing highlight for the 2022 season. Another thing I'd like to see ni Russell living up to the expectations on him bana.
Unataka live up to expectation ama unataka Lewis amshinde?
Lewis by default okay, I'm sure atamshinda. Hiyo ndio atazibishana.
Sawa.
Lewis atamshinda, but if Russell has at the end of the season atakuwa na maybe a P2 to P4 finish, that hiyo itakuwa I believe atakuwa clinch position ya Bottas vizuri sana. ame live up to the shoes left by Bottas. Now another thing I'd like to see ni signs.
Nilikuwa nangoja tu.
Carlos Sainz akiwa na other podiums bana. Akuwa na like nearly 5 to 10 podiums na assume.
Unajua Carlos Sainz ana race win.
Yes, okay, race win si lazima. Last season aliprove race win si lazima umalize top 5 bana. Uko na certain P5, P6 hapo. So akiwa na hizo more actually. Last year alikuwa na like 4 podiums. So this season I expect maybe akiwa na 8 to 10 podiums. Hata kama si race win, itakuwa imemset off at a good position on the drivers championship. So because na root okay, me root for the underdogs.
Always.
Carlos ame rise through the ranks bana pole tu. Improve points zake since 2017.
Yeah, since
2017 amekuwa akiprogress.
Hata yani season zake zote every season anakuwa improve. Tangu ni
2016 17 I believe there
16 15 amekuwa improve every year. Na the only teammate ashemshinda on points ni Nico Hülkenberg alimshinda na 5 points. Anyway
okay. Na tuko na expectations huge on the Ferrari this season bana.
Kwanza usiniambie.
Ferrari wanafaa kuwa na wins. Sasa wins zao ndio tuna expect zikuwe more this season.
That is what I'm praying for. Charles Leclerc. Your prediction things you want to see ni Vettel podium, Sainz podium, na nini nyingine? Russell akiperform vizuri.
For you what what are the things you'd like to see this season?
Ferrari dominance. Ferrari nataka go back to the glory days. The Schumacher days ama the 2018-2019 days and
Vettel akijaribu kufight for the championship bado.
Alikuwa fight for the championship. Ali lose it to the last few races. Ferrari dominance na Charles Leclerc. Oh man. Anyway, Ferrari. The second thing I want to see is 4 drivers fighting for the championship, not just 2.
Instead of 2.
Those drivers nataka wakuwe Daniel Ricciardo obviously.
Ricciardo this season honestly.
McLaren are strong.
But Ricciardo na okay na term na his age bado akona experience yes on the track. But his performance for the past few years imekuwa swindling honestly.
This year only ndio swindling. But
okay, in the McLaren bado alimaliza P8. In the Renault bado alimaliza
P4 in a very bad car.
In a bad car.
Yes. Teammate wake Hülkenberg alimaliza nyuma kabisa hadi he retired after that season.
Okay.
The previous year 2019 alimaliza just behind Max. Just behind Max.
In a what?
In a Red Bull.
Okay, he was in a superior car at that time. So in the last few years amekuwa Renault, McLaren. Now bado still for the three past years. Performance yake we had huge expectations on him being an experienced driver coming out of Red Bull. Na his driving IQ bado
driving style pia zote
okay imekuwa let down for me for the past few years, so you having huge expectations on him
nikawe na Bottas heri yangu ni more plausible.
Okay me
but sawa
Bottas just have expectations
only
that I expected him kubaki in the mark bado. Who else basi?
The other driver ni Danny Rick, Lewis and Max obviously, and Charles Leclerc.
How about Russell?
Drivers.
I believe you're a huge Russell fan.
Yes, I'm a huge Russell fan, but I believe if a Mercedes is good enough to fight for a championship, I don't think he'll be able to fight Lewis and Max at the same time. It's either going to be one of those guys or Charles Leclerc.
And you think Danny Rick has a chance against Lewis and Max? Honestly,
if the McLaren is good, yes.
I believe Lando is well poised to more than Ricardo in a McLaren. To fight for the championship compared to Danny Rick.
As in, Lando is a great driver, yes, but he does not know how to win races like Danny does.
It's only that he hasn't had the experience yet, bana. Amekuwa the track for only 2 years.
Hana experience. Sasa experience aitaipata this year. Lakini by that time Danny atakuwa probably winning championships.
Okay. Sawa. Hizo ni expectations zako. This is blowout sana.
Na ni vizuri tuna record before the season imeanza. Ndio hakuna mtu anajua vile kuko.
Okay.
Yeah. The other thing I want to see this season. Nimesema 4-way driver fight. Ferrari dominance. Yes. The last thing ni I'm not sure. I want to see Alonso being happy.
Alonso being happy.
Yes.
Why happy?
Enyewe.
You have to be aggressive and somewhat angry to win races.
That's not what I meant.
So happy na F1. Okay.
As in unajua yeye anakuanga na expectation. He's a champion. He has a
two-time quarter.
Yeah, two-time champion. Na alishinda na the team he's racing for now. Hata kama sasa inaitwa Alpine. Hizo siku ilikuwa inaitwa Renault. Yeah, as in he has very he has very high expectations. Now
you have high expectations on him.
Yes, plus he's a good driver. Plus last season he did a lot more than that car deserved, to be honest. He over-delivered. In Hungary, in Qatar. In Hungary, man.
So happy, by happy you mean him having more podiums, more wins? What do you mean by happy? More of everything. Yeah, how about more losses? More losses in more bad.
More good things.
More good things. Okay.
So lakini ni kutoka 20 vile lose championship in 2013. Imekuwa tu a series of disappointments. Simi nataka ashinde championship ama contend for the championship.
Yeah, that's a very huge expectation which Ikai
hata mimi najua hata kama naweza taka ku in the mix najua it's not possible. Nataka tu kumuona akiwa midfielder on the top of the midfield.
Okay.
Yeah. Those are my 3 things. Na tutaona ni gani za nani zita come true. Tutasikiza hiki tena alafu tuone.
So on to the next question.
Actually this is a question for you hata. Nataka 2 drivers you think will do well this season.
Rooting for the underdogs.
Albon.
I expect
Albon.
He's in a Williams. Sikatai but okay, hizi ni zile I believe for most people expectations ziko too low ama ziko so low.
Too low on Albon ama underdogs.
Niseme underdogs being in a Williams. But Albon really proved a point akiwa in the Red Bull seat. So niseme Albon having top 10, a couple of top 10 finishes itakuwa very exciting for me honestly. Now who else? That's one of the drivers I expect to perform vizuri this season. And Bottas in the Alfa Romeo. Underdogs power.
Of course. You're using your 2 answers on underdogs. So two drivers you think will do bad.
See could jinx the Mercedes team, but
oh Russell. My God,
Russell okay. I'm a prove kuwa good driver, but na believe your seat itakuwa it's not easy taking up the seat na fulfilling its expectations.
a Mercedes seat on the bottom seat.
Set in a road for his failure, but aki to disappoint sitakuwa that disappointed. Since I don't have that huge expectations on him. But aki to prove wrong, well and good as the Mark fans, honestly.
We are here for it. Yeah. Okay.
Another driver I see flopping. If Mazepin atabaki on the Haas seat bana.
Atabaki on the Haas seat ama any seat.
Okay, enyewe just sioni akimove to any other seat. Haas seat ndo yake. Akibaki on the seat bana.
If he keeps performing the way he is.
Has anafaa he's amepata the experience in the year amekuwa in F1 but without experience hakuna any improvement tumeona in an entire year of racing bana. At least for all rookies tunaonanga gradual improvements hata kama ni after 10 races hata in the final 21 22 23rd race. For Mazepin it was a total letdown in the 2021 season. Na okay, as we all know being managed to him put on that seat. Okay, hopefully what after another driver for that seat, honestly.
Next
that's
season.
An assured flop of the season, unassured, honestly.
Were you surprised he was kept on for this season?
Since he's coming with the money and
the Russian money
and has need the money bana. Keeping him was not much of a surprise. But they should let go of him, honestly, as fast as possible.
Okay.
In the motorsport, okay, we need racing. Despite teams facing financial issues, racing is what
brings us here,
bana. To view awesome races, to wheel battles. Na improvements bana from the rookies. So
plus acha tuone whether he'll have enough experience. The Mazepin jokes zinanibamba.
Say like an entire season tuna watch tukiwa an assured
DNF.
P19, P20 and DNF maybe. Quali Q1 disqualified. It's too boring. It's too boring for the sport bana.
Frustrating.
Tunahitaji F1 sasa ikuwe dynamic, more aggressive. The new things bana.
New things. Okay. Sawa basi.
For you, same goes to you. The two drivers you see flopping. Let's start with the flopping.
It's the same Mazepin, that's kind of obvious. Or Mazepin.
Low blow.
Yeah. Drivers flopping. Lando,
wow.
Yes.
Now wait to ujelezea that's I don't see that happening in any way bana.
Lando because
wow, umenistua bana ukisema Lando bana.
Ndio. Unajua mbona? Let me explain. Kubali, he had a good season last season. Hadi kuna time alikuwa
amazing season. Kuna time alikuwa P3 at the top half of the nini. Of the top half of the season.
Yeah, I think
had consistent top 5 finishes. Now that put him a few podiums.
Monaco alikuwa na podium. Na Austria kuna one of the Austria races alikuwa na podium. Yeah. Nadhani atakuwa flop juu. Yes, he had a good season. Lakini kama Sochi alikuwa na like 20 laps to go angechukua his first win. Lakini unaona kwenye experience inakujanga. Pardon, umesema.
Ilikuwa the last 20 laps ama ilikuwa the last 6 laps?
Ilikuwa the last 6 laps. Yeah, ilikuwa the last 6 laps by the way. The last 6 laps he was supposed to make a major decision. Hata hakuifikiria. Alienda straight to no. Hata vile Lewis aliulizwa alisema aje. Why? Do you think I don't think that's a good idea? Yeah, alafu lakini alipit anyway. Na unaona ilisaidia. Inafikanga time unajua when to trust yourself or the team. Or the strategy or the team. lakini yes, najua racing driver sometimes you have to make your own decision, lakini that was not the time.
I believe na that one flop issue ilimprovidea experience yeah kumuhaunt hata isahau. So I don't see any kind of mistake of the sort happen ever in the future.
Yeah, okay. Yes.
Because ukiweza claim ati alikataa kupit na nini, unaweza judge basi the goat na the same mistake in the final race bana.
Ndio naelezo sasa.
That's someone who has had experience since 2007. Who ni 2 years on track.
2 years on
so
track.
tunamuelewa kuwa na hiyo ni kuwa anxious ku win the race. Could decide ku back on track since alikuwa well ahead of the rest. Defending alikuwa required to do maybe was haikuwa much. He had an amazing start na he held on to the position really well. So mimi niko get your point. Sioni Lando akiflop.
Tutaona hizi ni predictions
after. So we'll see.
Tutaona. Nasema unaona kama leo as we are recording this, today is Thursday, the second day of the pre-season pre-tests. Hizo sijui vile wanaziita. Na Danny Rick ametop every chart today. Every single chart they have top leo. Nasema kama McLaren atakuwa na a good car, hakuna vile ataweza Danny Rick.
But pre-season hapa ndio inasemekana every team has a chance of winning the championship.
Ndio nimesema if McLaren have a championship winning car, haitakuwa Lando Norris.
Hey, wow.
Yeah, that's just my opinion. Wow. That's just my opinion. He's way too young with not much Lewis Max level of talent. That's what I think.
Okay, sawa. On the second driver, you see flopping.
Second driver who might flop is I can't use Bottas. I used that one last year. Wow. Let me see. I can't say Carlos Sainz, utanimaliza.
How about you? When any other driver akiflop, maybe unajua this is a strong maybe Guan Yu Zhou.
I think he's going to be should I say obvious disappointment? Probably, maybe
due to inexperience.
Yeah, a new driver plus kuna controversy. There were a lot of better drivers who were left out of Formula 1.
Certain F2 drivers.
Yes, like Oscar Piastri. Yeah, I think Guan Yu Zhou is going to be
maybe it's
a flop,
just a maybe.
Lakini I don't think it will surprise anyone. But if he's good, I'm for it. I want to see closer racing, like you said. If he's good and fighting for places and
top 10 finishes.
Yes, top 10 finishes. Yes, I'm all up for it. Junamaanisha there'll be more fights and less predictable ending to races.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about the two drivers you see superseding everyone's expectations?
So kwa hivyo niseme Max na Lewis
ni obvious.
Superseding everyone's expectation, Russell and Leclerc. I know people think Leclerc is good, lakini najua
haja tap into his full potential yet bado.
Yeah, hajaipewa gari na gari ina match up na potential yake vile umesema.
How about in 2019? That 2019 he had an amazing car. He had amazing wins.
Amazing car.
He had 2 great wins actually. Ni 2 or 3 in Monza, in Spa. Another possibility a possible race when ilikuwa gani for him. A possible race when
Singapore was a very okay, the Ferrari strategy just let him down because he qualified pole, I think, I'm not sure, either pole or P2, but what I'm sure about is that he qualified ahead of Sebastian Vettel, and between when it was time to pit, alikuwa, as in the two strategies they used for the Ferrari cars, gari ya Charles na gari ya Vettel, they were on two completely different strategies. Lakini it seemed like they made sure Vettel undercut Charles ndio Vettel akitoka kwa pits akuwe mbele ya Charles Leclerc. Na Vettel alishinda hiyo race na Leclerc P2, lakini that race win was meant to be for Charles.
Too bad for him, but a new season, new dawn, new expectations. We have a lot to see this season.
Yeah.
You have Russell and Leclerc.
Yeah.
Russell why?
Russell because he another interesting fact. Toto Wolff has been Russell's manager, like personal manager for like 4 years now.
Wow.
Juya, he has the talent. He has the talent for and the credentials for it. Ameshinda Formula 3, Formula 2 na P2 Spa last year in a Williams.
Being in a Williams ako partly in Mercedes already.
Yeah,
so
partly in Mercedes.
Kuwa
under such a
management na niseme mentorship.
Exactly.
Yeah. Toto Wolff.
Yeah.
Sawa. Haya, on to we're done with that.
Let me see. I have questions for you. Do you think Red Bull will maintain their impressive performance?
Max being a top performer is almost obvious as we enter into the 2022 season. And him winning the championship was contributed by Checo's defense.
Yes.
in a couple of races in the Yas Marina circuit. In where else? In
Turkish Grand Prix.
In the Turkish Grand Prix. So if if Checo maintains such performances, I believe he'll set a good pace for Red Bull. Maintaining
their good performance.
Maintaining their good performance. P2 since obviously they won't take
P2 lazima tungesema P2. Not improving.
Okay. Mercedes having a new driver, Russell. We have our Russell ni a new driver on the track. So expectations zetu zinaweza kuwa ziko juu, but his performance might let us down. Might. Ama hata anaweza exceed our expectations as than we know sai.
Yes, I need unknown variable.
Bas, exactly. So our really the number 2 drivers on the two teams, Mercedes na Red Bull.
Atakuwa determinant.
How ndio watakuwa determinant on how the teams championship will end.
Okay, that's actually an interesting point of view actually. Juu niko sure Lando, Ricardo watakuwa na fight, Charles na Sainz
watakuwa fight.
Nani wengine
But
top
sasa sai Max na Lewis bado wakifight. I believe akina sasa Russell na Perez watakuwa in the upper midfield bado as they fight na akina Sainz na akina Leclerc na akina Lando. So if wataweza kubeat the midfield, mwenye atakuwa ahead akiwa ameset pace enough for their team kuchukua the team's championship.
Okay. That's interesting.
But Checo being in the Red Bull for 1 year na his performance was
it was good actually.
It was amazing man.
He had
So,
one race win.
If I was to bet on someone itakuwa on Checo against Russell.
Okay. Yeah, actually hata mimi naweza I will make that bet hata kama ama nimekuwa fan wa Russell. I've been rooting for Russell for a while now. Okay. So if let's see, this is my last question because we are running out of time. If the 4 teams I said were strong, Mercedes, Red Bull, Ferrari, and McLaren, who do you think those are 4 teams, 8 drivers. Buni rankie the standings.
Yeah.
4 teams, 8 drivers. All cars are championship contenders. How do you think the championship?
This is the vengeance season for Lewis.
At the vengeance.
So honestly, I believe he'll give everything to the final race. So number one, unassured.
Lewis fans will always be Lewis fans.
Number 2.
Oh God.
His only competition at being a top-ranked driver.
Max Verstappen.
Now the battle starts from 3rd to 8.
6 more drivers.
For P3, I'll go for
P3.
P3
You
the
have
drivers.
right now. You have Charles and Sainz, Ricardo,
Russell and Checo, Ricardo and Lando.
6
and
drivers.
So between Lewis,
Checo,
between Checo,
Russell, Charles, Sainz.
I believe Ferrari have really worked on their car based on their performance last year. And I'll go for Charles taking P3.
I did not see that coming.
I see Charles taking P3. Russell taking P4.
Russell.
Yes.
Ahead of Checo. Okay, that's interesting.
Now Checo comes. No. Lando ahead. Lando ahead of Checo. And lastly, no. We still have Ricardo and
Danny Rick and Checo.
Oh, we have Carlos Sainz.
You forgot about him, sindio? Ungekuwa unamkumbuka angekuwa juu.
Ricardo will be Ricardo will take the last position between the 8.
Umesema Russell, Lando, and then
Russell, Lando,
Sainz.
Checo.
Russell, Lando, and then Checo.
The last 2. Sainz will have a good performance, so I'm wondering if I should switch him up to what? Directly behind Charles, actually.
Directly behind Charles.
Yes.
Nilikuwa juu umemsahau. Angekuwa juu sana. Kwa hivyo
position Sainz at P4.
Yeah.
P4. And then the order follows.
Yeah, kwa hivyo Daniel Ricciardo is last.
Lando, Checo. Yeah, Ricciardo is an assured last among the top 8 drivers. Yeah.
Sawa. Kwa hivyo you're saying it will be Lewis, Max, Leclerc, Sainz, Russell, Lando, Checo, and then Danny Rick. Okay.
And based on that, Team Mark already has it.
Team Mark already has
the championship, the team's championship.
Yeah, by the way, actually it does because of Russell and because okay. So boss. Okay. I do not have any more questions.
But okay, you've not told me the order you think you might see at the end of the season.
If
the top 4 teams.
If those 4 teams my list will be, I think, Max, because Max is Max. he beat Lewis once, anaweza ifanya tena. Itakuwa Max, Lewis, Leclerc, Russell, Danny Rick.
Danny Rick at P5.
Yes, Danny Rick at P5.
You have huge expectations on him, but honestly, I don't see that happening. I believe that drivers still have a chance of taking P8. Yeah, kuna a lot of drivers on the grid nila hatujawa place in the top 4 teams.
Nani mwingine?
We have Alonso. Alonso might pull a surprise this season. We don't know.
Maybe.
Hata Ocon, maybe.
Basawa.
Bottas also has been in a top car. He's an amazing driver.
Okay,
pull off the top 8 najua ni ngumu.
Hata unadhani mtu tumeacha hapa ni Gasly. Juu Gasly definitely atakuwa hapo katikati.
Yeah. Gasly is on a short top 10 actually. hopefully nataka perform really well this season. So for you it's Max, Lewis, Leclerc, Russell, then
Ricardo,
Danny Rick,
yes, and then Checo, and then Sainz, and then guess who last? Norris. Norris. I don't think he'll be, but anyway, this is why these are predictions. Anyway, tukiconclude sasa. No, just sasa, these are official predictions. Yeah, vile the season will end. No, after season imeisha we'll come back to this. Tell me how the driver standings will be at the end of the season. All 20 drivers. Yes.
Wow. Unajua we have a lot of we have new drivers like Guangzhou. So that Guangzhou is a wild card. Anaweza tustua tuone mtu amemaliza P12. Unajua P12.
P12 is impressive.
Impressive for a new driver. So I've already stated my P1 to P8. We head on to P9.
You want to leave? Oh yeah, so P1 to P8.
We have
P9. Who do you have at P9?
P9. Okay, well, let's start at the bottom to make it be easier.
We are starting with Mazepin.
Mazepin at P20.
This is the first time Mazepin comes first.
Wow.
Unless his girlfriend has. Anyway.
Mazepin. Schumacher, do you see Schumacher improving this season, honestly, to place him at P18 and above, honestly?
Yes, ahead of Guan Yu.
So, for you, you'd place Guan at P19. I'm asking you.
Yes, I'd place Guan Yu at P19 and Schumacher at P18. Yes. You have the same. You'll go with the same.
No. I have Schumacher at P19.
P19.
So basically has
Schumacher P19.
Has at the bottom of the grade.
So your P18 will be
P18.
And
we have Latifi.
That's biased, but okay. So
Latifi has been in the has been on track for a couple of years. And maybe okay. Could you say that that him being in a Williams has not really given him a chance to prove himself as a driver? Because honestly, I don't see him improving this year. So I'll place him at P18. That's Latifi. I've started at the bottom. Then we have.
You have Albon left. You have
Albon. I believe Albon will perform this season. So yeah,
you have.
I'll have Guan Yu. Guan Yu will be at P17.
Okay.
At P16, I'll have Lance Stroll. The money man.
Wow, yeah, the money man. Lance Stroll at P16.
Yeah. Who do we have left? Bottas, Vettel, Alonso, Ocon, Albon, and Gasly.
Yes, and Yuki.
Gasly is top ranked in my book.
Which you're making Gasly
P9.
P9 Gasly.
Yeah. Then we have
tunatumia process of elimination. Sawa basi.
Gasly at P9. Ocon, where do I place Ocon? Alonso and Vettel. Okay, Vettel. Hope the car does well this season. I want to place Vettel at the top 10, but then they last year they didn't
do as much.
Yeah. We had huge expectations on them having from the 2020 car, the Racing Point car in 2020. It was a complete letdown in the last year. So Vettel, okay. him being a veteran.
Vettel being a veteran.
I'll place him at P10.
P10.
Vettel at P10.
Ahead of Alonso, okay.
Then Alonso now. Then Ocon
P12.
Ocon P12. Gasly's teammate.
Yuki Tsunoda.
Then we have Albon.
Wow.
And lastly, who?
Who is Mr. Forgettable?
Who are we forgetting? Ocon, Vettel. We have Stroll. Oh, Bottas. Oh my god.
Nilikuuliza unasahau Bottas kila mahali kwa hizi list.
Wow.
Bottas na Sainz.
Placing Bottas at P15 is that's very unfair. Very unfair of me.
Lakini I think utamweka tu Yuki is in P12. I think that's where Bottas could be. Because if Ocon
I'll place him above Ocon. P12. So Bottas takes P12.
Nilikwambia Bottas anakuwa forgettable. Alafu Ocon P13.
Ocon P13.
Yuki P14.
And Albon P15.
Yeah, okay. Sawa basi. Sawa basi. Let me give you mine. Max P1, Lewis P2, Leclerc. Manza kwa tricky sasa.
You had Russell at P4. Would you still like to maintain him at that spot?
I think Gasly.
At P4.
Gasly at P4. Yeah, it's brave. I know.
Wow.
Gasly.
Okay. I'd like to say that too, but
too much. But that's probably why it's genius. Gasly, and then we have Russell P5.
Russell, wait. Okay, let me list that down. You have Gasly at P4 and Russell at P5.
Yes, and then Checo
P6.
And then P7 I'll put Sainz.
Yes.
Okay. Then P8 Teka Ricardo at a maintain position yake last season. Danny Rick, and then P9 I think Lando will do well.
Well at P9 for Lando.
Yes.
Honestly,
well
that's
at
not
P9. It's not realistic.
Wow.
At P10. P10 I think I'll have this is interesting. I think I'll have Alonso at P10.
Alonso.
Yes, Alonso at P10. P11 I think I'll put Bottas, because I don't think anybody below this list now can beat Bottas. Yes.
How about Vettel? If Aston Martin produces an amazing car this year, I believe Vettel has a good chance even to having a top 10 finish.
A good car, yes. I think the best Aston Martin can go is having maybe a car as good as Alfa Romeo. Even if it's not as good, I think Bottas will extract more from the Alfa Romeo than people might think, and that's why niko kwa P11.
Yeah, P12.
P12.
Yeah, P11 you have Bottas.
P12 I'll put Vettel. Vettel right behind. Yes, Bottas. And then Ocon I think will shine. He shines once in a while. Plus, if they have a good enough car to put Alonso in P10, I think Ocon will do well at P13. And then Yuki Tsunoda, because they have a car good enough to get Gasly P4. Yes. And then Albon, because P15, because he's still a good driver. God, I feel like I'm forgetting some. Who else? Who would you have at P16 if you had my list?
Lance fits perfectly on my list
Stroll.
at P16. Yeah.
Stroll, the money man at P16. And then I already have, and then Guanijo. Guanijo, I think he'll best Latifi. It will be Guanijo at P17, Latifi at P18, and the two Haas boys at the bottom, Schumacher and
Mazepin.
Yes. Okay. And so and to pay homage to last season, do you want to make a bet? What bet do you want to make this season?
You have Max as your number one driver, and I have Lewis.
The same.
The same.
So but the same. If Lewis beats Max, LOU. Tao, kama tu last time.
I thought to improve stakes this
season. Itakuwa na stakes itakuwa gani sasa? What is the wager?
How about we put it at 2,500?
2,500.
Yeah.
For Lewis versus Max.
Yeah.
Sawa basi. If Lewis beats Max, si lazima ikuwe P1 P2. But if Lewis beats Max, is it driver's champion?
Any driver standings?
Yes, in the driver standings, not the championship. Yes.
In the driver standings, Lewis will beat Max.
So if Lewis beats Max, I'll give you your money. If Max beats Lewis, which will happen again, you will owe me
2,500.
Yes.
Let's add something bad. A race at GP karting.
A race. So basi, just for context, so basi, we are going to have a race, a 10-minute, 15-minute race. A live race, an actual race in the real world. Yeah.
To avenge whoever lost.
Last season's bet.
Yeah.
So same wager. 2,500.
Yes.
So basi, so there can be an ultimate loser when you have to lose 5,000 shillings. So basi, that sounds like a reasonable deal. And it sounds like we have come to the end of our first podcast. Unajua inanihit sai we have to just say jina ya the podcast. If not say its name. Track marked. I honestly can't remember. It's been an hour. It's been over an hour. But yeah, we are track marked. I hope I said that right. Yes.
Track marked it is. Yes.
Luckily it will get better with time. That's how the world works. But yeah, I think we've come to the end of our first podcast. To any listeners who have gotten this far, you can
Hongera
by the way, makofi. Umefika huko quote. Anyway, give us a like or you subscribe depending on where you're listening these podcasts from. Yes, and we appreciate it. I'm Wesley.
I'm Mark.
And
Tim Lewis.
Do you see the irony in that? Tim Lewis now and the master of the underdogs. But anyway, so Mark, Tim Lewis, and that is it. I think we are done. So basi,
on to the next one.
See you on the next one.
And they're going to wheel around turn 13.